The autumn is in the air. Behind me is the Tatra mountain range and next to me is the electric Kia e-Soul. So I made it from Warsaw to the Polish mountains. The question is how? Watch this to find out. This is the Kia e-Soul and I'm on my way to Zakopane, a ski resort in the south of Poland. I'm going to be brief here because it's still dark outside. So I just wanted to say we set out from home in Warsaw at 6 a.m. It's whatever, 6:21 by now. We've driven for about 11 kilometers out of 420 we've got to go. The range indicated is 351 kilometers and we're using 16.2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers for the time being. I hope this is going to get better. I'll get back to you in about an hour after the dawn. It's 7:13 a.m. It's almost light outside, so I thought I'm going to give you a quick update. I'm somewhere between Grójec and Radom, if that tells you anything. I'm about 75 kilometers away from home. We've got about 350 kilometers to go and indicated range at the moment is 297. It was 98 and now it's 97. 297 kilometers range, 17.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which is quite a lot, but I'm driving with a speed of around 100 kilometers per hour right now, so it does tend to use a lot of energy here. Okay, now that it's relatively empty, I can tell you a bit more about what I'm planning to achieve. During the last 6 months, I've driven several EVs, including 3 from Hyundai Kia Group. In the spring of 2019, I attended a first drive event for Kia e-Soul. Then I took the Kia e-Niro to Zakopane without stopping to recharge. However, some viewers rightly pointed out that I was driving too slow, so I took the electric Kona on a top legal speed run. But some viewers said, well, it's summer, you're not using the heater. So that's a fair point. Here we are in late November, and once again I'm on my way to Zakopane. The heating is on, and to make things a bit more interesting, I am trying to keep the same average speed as I did with the e-Niro, so at least 70 kilometers per hour. Google indicates that the route from Warsaw to Zakopane takes anywhere between 5 hours and 40 minutes to 8 hours and 10 minutes. So an average of 60 kilometers per hour is okay, but I'm going to try and keep it around 70 like the last time. And yeah, it doesn't look like I'm gonna make it without a recharge, but we'll see how we get on. I'll give you an update in about half an hour. It's 7:40 and we just passed Radom. I have about 300 kilometers left and the indicated range is 254 kilometers. Weather report. I really hoped for some winter and for some minus temperatures in the Celsius range, and I expected that in Zakopane we may get some snow. However, it seems we may get some snow and rain, but that's about it. The temperature right now is 8 degrees Celsius. In Zakopane, maybe about 5 degrees. The temperature inside the car is set to 19 degrees, but we are using the heater, obviously, and heated seats because my girlfriend Anna is cold. I'm warm because I'm so excited about what's happening right now. But anyway, we're using almost 18 kilowatt hours, 17.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, and by advanced mathematics it looks like we're not gonna make it, even though our heater is using only 7% of the total energy consumption here. But anyway, we're going to do the math next time in about half an hour, so stay tuned. It's 8:16 a.m. I passed a city of Skarżysko-Kamienna, try to pronounce that. I've got about 255 kilometers left to my destination, but the range is only 204, so it doesn't look too good. Also, my energy use is 18.1 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, but my average speed is above 70 kilometers per hour, so we are at least keeping one of the assumptions that I wanted. Anyway, I will talk to you about mathematics now, but don't run away. It's not very complicated. I know many people get confused with the kilowatt hours business, and it's just like liters per 100 kilometers. So EV manufacturers usually provide battery capacity and energy use in kilowatt hours. An exception to this rule is BMW with the i3, which now I think is called 120 amp hours, which basically is 42 kilowatt hours, but 120 sounds better than 42. Unless, of course, we're talking about the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. Going back to Kia e-Soul, it's available with 39 or 64 kilowatt hour batteries, which give you 289 or 450 kilometers of range in optimum conditions. According to the spec sheet, this car should use 15.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Divide 64 by 15.7 and you get about 410, so we're missing 40 kilometers. We can regain these 40 kilometers using recuperation. That's what the paddle shifters here on the steering wheel are for. Well, they're not shifters, they're just paddles. They're for recuperation. There is 3-stage recuperation. You can put the car into automatic recuperation mode, or you can turn it off altogether. I tried driving without any recuperation, with minimal recuperation, let's say, over the last 70 kilometers or so, but it proved to be I don't know, I think I'm using too much energy basically, so I decided to add some slight recuperation and take advantage of energy recuperation, recharging every time I'm going down a small incline. I can be maintaining my speed of around 90 kilometers per hour, but if there's an incline, I can be also recuperating some energy. So we'll see if that gets me any further. Anyway, in order to drive 420 kilometers, I need to use less than 15 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which, as you can see, is not happening. In the summer, I managed 14.3, but now with the heater, I suspect 16 will be good. And that's still 20 kilometers short, so I will probably have to recharge in Krakow. Why Krakow? I'll tell you in half an hour. It's 8:39, I'm passing, or I've just passed the city of Kielce. I've got 50% battery, 198 kilometers from home. The range is 173 and the distance to my destination is 220 kilometers. So things are not looking very good. However, my energy use is 17.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So this hilly terrain here is actually helping me. I can recuperate some energy while coasting downhill. So this is good news. The last time I was driving the e-Niro, it was similar. From Kielce onwards, I was using much less energy. So let's talk charging. An electric vehicle can be charged in one of three ways. The first is a regular 230 volt socket like you have at home, but from that you're getting maybe 2 kilowatts, so charging a 64 kilowatt hour battery would take more than a day. The second method is an AC type 2 socket, for example a wall box. Depending on the infrastructure and the charger inside the car, you can charge up to 22 kilowatts. However, 7 or 11 is more likely, and with an 11 kilowatt hour charger, well, the charger is actually inside the car, you could charge this car in about 6 hours. And then there is the DC or fast charging. In Poland we get up to 50 kilowatts, but some chargers, the public ones, the free ones, give you 20 to 40. In the West, you get 100 plus kilowatts. And again, depending on the car, this means you can charge the car much faster. The Kia takes up to 100 kilowatts, so you could charge this car in about an hour. Let's say up to 80% in 40 minutes. That would be fast charging, and then the last 20% is usually slower. But generally speaking, you can charge it fast as long as you have a place to charge it, because the road from Warsaw to Zakopane, the shortest route, is through Radom and Kielce, and for electric vehicles this route is challenging, to say the least. It's 9:30 a.m. It's raining again, ever so slightly. I've got 184 kilometers left to my destination, and I've got 143 kilometers range. The energy consumption at the moment is 17.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Like during my June run, also here we stopped at a gas station to stretch our legs. Unfortunately, there is no charger. It's a shame, because the 15-20 minutes we spent there would be just about enough to get us to our destination without a problem. In Poland, there is a commercial Greenway charger network, as well as some free chargers on state-owned Orlen and Lotos petrol chains. Also, the government is trying to show off its EV charging infrastructure, and there are some chargers next to public administration buildings. I don't mind that. It's nice, it's free. However, some regions are somewhat less electrified than others. For example, this route from Warsaw to Zakopane is not a part of any major transport corridor, so it's not a priority on the map of electromobility. This is supposed to change in due time. However, for now, there is one fast charger at an Orlen station about 85 kilometers from Warsaw, and another one, the next one, is in Krakow. There are several Type 2 sockets in Kielce, which is like in the middle, but Type 2 sockets are too slow. So I will probably have to charge in Krakow. I know this because the last time during the June run we had about 140 kilometers range in Krakow. So we decided to go for it, and my range right now is 142 kilometers. So things are looking rather grim, but I'm not saying I'm not going to attempt it. I still don't know. It's 10:24. I'm off the main road going towards the Krakow ring road, and I've got 133 kilometers left, and the range is 98 kilometers. Energy consumption 17.2 kilowatt hours. Since we're off the main road, a few words about the car. The Kia e-Soul bases on the third generation of the Soul, a car which is unavailable in Europe. We get only the e-Soul because of the engines and the emissions. The Soul fits somewhere between the Stonic and the Niro in terms of size. However, the e-Soul weighs around 1700 kilograms. You don't feel it on even surfaces, but on rougher surfaces, yes, you can tell the car is heavy. You can also tell the car is heavy when you go off tarmac. Be careful, because the ground clearance is not as big as you may think. Under the bonnet there is an electric motor and a lot of space, surprisingly a lot of space. They could have put a frunk or a front trunk in there for you to keep your cables in there. Theoretically, the 230 volt charging cable fits under the floor where the tire repair kit resides. But I suppose you may also carry your Type 2 cable with you, because you never know. So yeah, keeping those cables below the boot floor is not good on a road trip, because then you have to take everything out to get to the cables. So the cables for now live behind the passenger seat here for now. Kia, or Kia e-Soul, is one of those few cars that the manufacturer claims that the boot is smaller than it really is. Officially, it's 315 liters. If you drop the false floor, you get about 400 liters, I would say. I got off the Krakow ring road and now I'm on the last stretch of road, which is called Zakopane, which goes to Zakopane. I'm 100 kilometers away from my destination. The range was about 75 kilometers, so we decided we are not going to be able to recuperate this much energy, even going up and down hill all the time. Maybe I could recuperate another 5 or 10 kilometers, but definitely not 25, 30 that we were missing. So we're here at the charger. This is a paid charger. It's slower than it should be. It's not a 50 kilowatt charger, but a 35, 36 kilowatt charger. So we'll have to spend about 15-20 minutes here to get back about 15-20 kilowatt hours, and then with that we can safely get to Zakopane. And once I get to Zakopane, in the summing up of this video, I will tell you all my calculations and what I think about what's happening here. So yeah, another 10-15 minutes, maybe a toilet break. I spent 29 minutes charging. It cost me 33 zlotys, which is about 7-8 euro. And I regained 17 kilowatt hours, which means that I can easily go for another 100 kilometers. Because of my stop at the charging station, I lost half an hour, which decreased my average speed from about 68 to about 62 kilometers per hour. So now that I have more range that I need to get to my destination, I will be driving exactly according to the speed limit, and I hope to make up some of the lost time, increase my average speed if that's at all possible. However, I expect I won't get more than about 65 kilometers per hour average speed, which is interesting because I was driving faster than I should have, and I lost a lot, A, in traffic, which happens, B, because of charging. I lost more because of charging than in traffic, so I'll sum it up later at the end of the video. But it's interesting how driving an electric car is a bit about strategy. Unless, of course, you've got abundant charging infrastructure and you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so let me talk you through this exercise. Without a charging break, I drove for 6 hours and 15 minutes, just as the sat-nav predicted, and that was only 15 minutes longer than in June. However, in June, I was driving on a Sunday against the weekend traffic, and this time it was Thursday, a regular weekday, and I lost some time around Krakow. Also, this time I drove a bit faster, and this cost me half an hour by the charger. I tried to make up for the lost time by driving the last 100 kilometers with top legal speed, but in the end I managed to average just 65 kilometers per hour. I would probably achieve the same driving a bit slower and maybe narrowly avoiding the charging stopover. With temperature around 10 degrees Celsius, in the rain, with the heater, wipers, headlights, the energy generated by climate control and onboard electronics was below 10% of the total. Beside the speed, I can also blame it on strong wind. But more than 2/3 of the journey was across hilly terrain, which gave good opportunity for recuperation. Instead, I was going faster than necessary to maintain an attainable average speed, and I finished with average fuel consumption, not fuel, energy consumption of 17 kilowatt hours. A lot will depend on local charging infrastructure, which at least in Poland, is improving. However, I still remember the days when journalists would drop extension cords from their flats to charge electric test cars. I also agree the range in electric cars today doesn't make them ideal for frequent long-distance travel. But the Kia e-Soul and other cars with similar range are a bit like small city cars. The Toyota Aygo with a 35-litre tank uses 4 or 5 litres per 100 kilometers, giving it a theoretical range of 700 kilometers, but push it on the motorway and you'll get 300, 350. Anyway, everything could be solved with putting more chargers, say every 200 kilometers or so. Half an hour by the charger to stretch your legs, catch up on the emails. It's been a while since I walked so much, like from the charger to restaurants in Zakopane. Anything to keep this body looking the way it does. Do you find these arguments convincing? Let me know in the comment section below. Subscribe for more of my sarcastic, down-to-earth and possibly mildly amusing car reviews. Don't forget to like and share this video and hit the notification bell to, be reminded about new uploads, and I post every Friday. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.